Hi, I'm Alana. Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're doing a get ready with me for church. So, as you can see, I am now in Queensland. I'm working up here at the health retreat for a couple of months, and so that is why the backdrop is different today. So, let me just say that I am so happy to be back here. Like, I have missed the health retreat so much, and it's literally been over 2 years since the last time I was here, which is pretty crazy to think about because, like, time goes so fast, you know? So that's why the backdrop is different, because I am in Queensland at the moment. So what do I have to discuss today? Well, I'm going to begin with 2 book recommendations. So this book recommendation, it's called A Perfect Day to Be Alone by Nene Aoyama. And so this is about a Japanese girl who, she's 20 years old and she wants to go and live in Tokyo. So her mom says, "Oh, I know an old lady who you can go and live with in Tokyo." And so she goes and lives with this old lady in Tokyo. And her parents really want her to go to university, but she's like, "No, I don't want to be a student, I just want to work." And so she has a job as a hostess, and then she has another job as one of those people who like pushes people into the trains in Japan, like shoves people in with a broom. So she's like a train attendant or whatever. And so it's just about her being a 20-year-old Japanese girl and living with this 71-year-old woman. And yeah, I just read it yesterday, but it's really good. Perfect Day to Be Alone. But the best book that I have read so far this year, so I've read 2 books so far this year, and the best one I'm going to say is this one. It's called Alone by Admiral Richard E. Byrd. And there is just so much to say about this book. So Alone is about this man, Admiral Richard E. Byrd, and he goes and spends several months completely alone in Antarctica, like in the coldest part of Antarctica. So first, he and the men who work for him, they go and build this base in Antarctica so that he will be able to stay there. And then he goes and stays there alone, like completely alone in the coldest, darkest part of Antarctica for several months. And he's like, it's in 1933. So this happened in 1933. So he's literally like talking about using his phonograph. He's talking about listening to music on his phonograph, and all of the technology is from like 1933. So he has to, like, to communicate with the base where the other men are, he has to type in Morse code, and so like he can hear them but they can't hear him. And like communication is really, really difficult because it's 1933. So if like anything goes wrong, it's literally just him completely alone in Antarctica. And like the whole book, it's 300 pages, and it's basically just him like trying not to die, trying not to freeze, and trying not to go mad. And it is such a good book. It's so illuminative, like you can't even fathom that level of like coldness, that level of darkness. Like he literally is just trying to like cook and like dress himself and stuff, and he keeps like almost freezing. Like you touch the wall and your fingers come off because it's so cold. And so yeah, the book is basically him trying not to freeze, trying not to die, and trying not to go mad, because he gets very deeply contemplative, like, because he is literally just completely alone. There's no phones So there's no phones, there's no radio, there's no television. He's just completely alone in the Antarctic, and he served in 2 world wars before this. So like if there's any man for the job, it's definitely Richard E. Byrd. But it's pretty crazy adventure. I really enjoyed it. And it's hard to imagine why anyone would even want to do such a thing. But I think he decided that like he wanted to experience what that kind of level of aloneness was like, what that kind of peace was like. But it's a very interesting book. It's only 300 pages. I read it in just under a week. And then at the end, when like it's finally over and like he makes it out alive, it's so exciting. Like it's the most exciting thing ever. So yeah, I'm here for a couple of months. And what else? I have been listening to Soft White Underbelly still. So Mark later posts videos to Soft White Underbelly every day. So it should take me a fair while to make my way through all of his videos. I am still making my way through all of his videos. The other night I listened to one that was really good with a woman talking about her experience with her schizophrenic dad. Like her dad has schizophrenia, and so she talked about what that was like growing up. And she said that he would stalk her when she was a child, like not maliciously, but just because he was schizophrenic. Like he would stalk her, and like he would show up at her school and they would have to ring the alarm, and then she would have to go to the principal's office because her schizophrenic dad was stalking her. And and then she made a documentary about him called Cracked. The documentary is called Cracked. And so she was just talking about like trying to make amends with her schizophrenic dad and like trying to understand him, and how like she would go to his house and he was living with all these like homeless people. Like he took in homeless people and just lived with them. And she said that it was really like difficult because they had like dogs pooing on the floor and stuff like that. And she was just trying to like understand him and be like not offend him. So, and like also they would smoke in the house. So she would go into the house and it was just like, oh, like a wall of smoke. And so I thought that was a really beautiful story. So thank you for getting ready with me for church today. You're beautiful. You're perfect. I love you. God bless you. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.